Hello, Etobicoke upsizers. Welcome to the first of my new weekly video series, 3Tobicoke, where I pick up to 3 different Etobicoke listings at 3 different price points and let you know why I think they're interesting. The goal is to provide you some context of what options are available out there at different price points and to give you a heartbeat on the Etobicoke market. For this week's listings of Friday, May 12th, I have a condo townhouse listed at $840,000 close to Centennial Park, a semi-detached in Alderwood that backs onto a park listed at $1.15 million, and a large 2-story executive-style home listed in the Westmount neighborhood at $1.85 million. The first listing I want to talk about is 3 Centennial Park Road, Unit 71. This is a condo townhouse. It's listed at $840,000 and has a monthly maintenance fee of $707 a month. The reason I think this is an interesting listing is because it's actually in very good condition inside. It's been renovated probably sometime in the last 10 to 15 years. It has contemporary finishes, an updated kitchen that's modern and white, newer appliances, and it's actually a sizable home. These condo townhomes that were built in the 60s and 70s will be roughly 1,800 to 2,200 square feet top to bottom. And many of them will include a small sort of backyard terrace here that you can host little barbecues, have a patio, invite friends over, and are large enough to certainly raise a family. The reason that I think this is an interesting property is not actually due to its price, but what you get at the entire purchase price of $840 and a maintenance fee of $707 a month. If you were to apply roughly $700 towards just a mortgage of around 6%, which will get you a variable rate mortgage, that would only provide you an extra $110,000, $120,000 in purchasing power. So imagine if this were a freehold townhouse, and rather than purchasing this at $840, you'd be paying about $950, $960 for this modern looking townhouse. That would seem like a really good deal, wouldn't it? But I think a lot of buyers, they don't see it that way. They just see the maintenance fee, which they're stuck with, and the fact that it's a condo and not a freehold, even though most people don't really have the means or plans to put an extension on a home. So if you're a buyer that's looking for a single family home for under $1 million and is looking for the space that's equivalent to a freehold home, these older 60s, 70s era condo townhomes are definitely an option that are worth considering and worth exploring. The next home that I want to talk about is 116 Treeview Drive. This is a semi-detached in South Etobicoke in the neighborhood of Alderwood. It's located just south of Evans Road and east of Browns Line. And I'm not sure if you can tell, but it actually backs onto Douglas Park here, a small little park. It's pretty close to this whole field here. This is actually a daycare. It used to be an old school, but I believe the Toronto District School Board sold most of this land to Mattamy Homes and it was all redeveloped. So these are all new $2 million plus 2-story homes in this little pocket right here. And you would be like a stone's throw from this field here. I can kind of show you it from a satellite view. Now, I think this listing is very interesting for 4 reasons. First, its lot size. It's sitting on a 30 by 133 foot lot. A lot of these semi-detached homes that I see in Alderwood are on smaller 25 by 120, 130 foot lots. So this home, you can tell like it's a bit wider than a typical South Etobicoke semi. Some of the frontage is probably spared to the driveway as well, but space-wise, it will probably feel a bit more substantial inside the house. The house itself is in pretty fair condition. I wouldn't say it's particularly renovated or updated, but it does have a sort of budget contemporary vibe going to it. Certainly very livable, and it looks comfortable to live in the space. Doesn't really feel like you'd be compromising in living in a home like this. The second reason why I like it is because it has a built-in basement suite. So obviously you can use this basement towards your own living, but having a basement suite in this property with its own separate entrance makes generating additional revenue a little bit easier and potentially makes the home more affordable. The third reason I like this property is because it actually backs directly onto a park, has free and clear access to just walk right onto that park. So obviously you have the backyard, but it just feels like you have a lot more and a lot more privacy. That's a pretty nice feature which most people are willing to pay a premium for. And the last reason why I think that this home is interesting is its list price. It's listed at 1.15. They had previously listed the home at 1.25 and didn't get any offers, and they actually have a defined closing date on the listing, meaning the sellers probably are motivated to sell and just want to be able to get it out of their hands, want to know that it's been dealt with. I feel like if you were to take the same home, put it on a slightly smaller lot without the basement apartment, on an interior section, a home that doesn't back onto a park, it would still be worth about 1.1. So I feel like for the extra $50,000 that they have it listed at, larger lot, lot, backing onto a park, and with a basement apartment. You're getting a lot. So I think it's actually really good value. Now, the way they have it marketed and listed is they're asking for a 48-hour irrevocable, meaning that any offers that come in, they're potentially going to shop it around for roughly 2 days to see if they can get a competing offer. There's a possibility that it ends up selling for more, or, if you were to submit an offer at full list, that you actually still end up competing on the property. But in these circumstances, there's no indication here that tells me that the sellers wouldn't be willing to sell for a list price. So definitely a property that I think is interesting and worth considering if you're in the market for a family home that has all these features. The last listing that I think is very interesting is this one, 17 Alma Drive. This is a large 2-story style executive home, something that you'd see probably in Burlington or Oakville quite a bit. This one is located in the Westmount neighborhood, right around Scarlett and Lawrence area. Now, these homes are pretty large. They're roughly about 3,500 square feet. You probably have about 1,500 square feet on each level. And in the basement, you'll have roughly another 1,500 square feet as well. This home is listed at 1.85 million. Recently, I've seen these homes sell for roughly around 2 million. So at 1.85, I think it's just a really good deal. Some features of the interior are a little dated, as you'll see as I go through the pictures. The bathrooms have full wall tile, which I can understand it being not a great feature for some potential buyers. The chairlift with the posts being drilled fully into the stairs, that might bother some potential buyers as well. However, these can usually be filled in, not a high cost. This blue bathroom here, having full wall tile. An option here for a prospective buyer might be actually just reglazing all the tiles with a white. Reglazing is when they basically paint the tiles with something that's similar to a car paint, give it a completely fresh and clean look. I've done it a couple times with other clients' bathrooms that had original 60s, 70s style pink and blue tiles. This bathroom is pretty large, so it probably cost around $2,000, but it's a great option to contemporize a bathroom and just make it good enough until you can refinance the home and do the large rental maybe 4 or 5 years down the line. The home itself looks like it's in really good condition. It's got a really nice backyard, and usually homes that are being sold by owners who have owned it for the past 20, 30 years, they take really good care of the properties. I don't know what sort of condition the basement is in. They don't have any photos of it. It's possible that it actually has a lower ceiling basement. The last 2 homes that I saw that sold in Etobicoke of this style sold for 1.97 and 2,050,000. So I think at 1.85, it's a really good deal. They originally had it listed with an offer date on May 2nd. They must not have gotten any offers. They didn't change the list price, so it looks like they're willing to sell it at list price. However, I've run into situations as well where the seller's expectations are actually higher. What I like about this property is it's actually located really close to Weston Station, which is right on the UP Express line. So you can actually get from this home right downtown in 30 minutes during rush hour. So you get the full suburban sort of lifestyle and living and still be able to get downtown within 30 minutes, which is pretty amazing. You also got access to some great trails. You're in the Westmount Junior Middle School catchment area. There's a lot that I think is really interesting, and it's hard to find a large 3,000 plus square foot home for under $2 million. So definitely some really good value here. For anyone that wants to get in touch, the best way to do so would be by scheduling a call with me through Calendly below. Otherwise, I'll see you next week. Cheers.